Hi guys, it's Joe. Welcome to my channel. Today is the final day for Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop. I want to give a big thank you to Justine Hovey for hosting, and also a big thank you to all the sponsors who are providing prizes for all the winners of this hop. I was able to get a hold of a stamp set and a few inks of one of the mega sponsors, Catherine Pooler. Here's a quick screenshot of the supplies I'll be using. You can see on the right side are the inks, and there's some Copic markers in there as well. So to start off this card, I am using the Beautiful You stamp set from Catherine Pooler, and yeah, I'm just creating a background with all the floral images and also some of the leaves. I'm alternating the inks, and the inks that I used were Mint to Be, Sweet 16, It's a Girl, and Garden Party. So all the supplies that I use, and if I have any links, I will put it also in the description box. So again, here I'm just alternating the flowers, and I'm wiping the ink off each stamp every time I use it, just so it's clean. I don't want there to be any accidents where I accidentally touch one of the stamp images and accidentally touch the wet ink, and then it'll get all over my project. So yeah, anyway, so I'm using Garden Party, the green color ink, and I am trying to fill up the background with some of these leaves, and there's several leaf images in the stamp set, so I was able to pick different styles and use it on the flowers. Now, in the stamp set, they also have these little dots and trio dots that I'm using again to fill up the empty spaces. Um, I used only the three little dots image in the stamp set, and I just alternated between two colors, the Garden Party and It's a Girl, which was the pink and green. So that is my card done. And so now I'm taking some watercolor paper, and that is the Strathmore watercolor paper, and I'm going to emboss some of these floral images with gold embossing powder. So here I'm just cleaning off the excess gold embossing powder that is around the images. So now I have my heat tool, and now I'm just applying it to the embossed image so that it can melt, and then I can start my watercolor. Okay, now I am taking the sentiment from the stamp set. It says "Beautiful You," and I'm using the Versamark. I'm going to gold emboss this as well, so that's just me pouring the gold embossing powder, and that's some cheapy embossing powder from Joann's, and I've bought that like years ago, and it still works very well. Now I'm prepping for the watercoloring using the Catherine Pooler inks, and I have a non-stick craft mat. So the first color I laid down is It's a Girl, the second one is Mint to Be, and the third one is Garden Party. So I just stamp it on the craft mat, and then I use a mini spritzer and spray like just a few pumps of water, not so much. I don't want to water it down too much. So I'm just coloring the images, and I do several layers so that I get different tones of each ink. The watercolor brush that I'm using is just a very inexpensive one from Michaels, and I believe it's Artist Loft, so it's nothing fancy, it's just your regular paint brush. And yeah, so now I'm just using the heat gun to dry off the wet ink, and then I'm going again with another layer of the ink color. I didn't add any more water because I really didn't want to dilute the pigment, so that I have different variations again of the color. So that is the end of this part of the watercoloring, and then now I'm just getting another piece of watercolor paper. First I'm gonna just clean up the mat, and then I'm taking It's a Girl, the pink color again, stamped it several times on the non-stick craft mat, added a few sprays of water, and then that's the watercolor paper, and I'm just running it over the wet ink. Now I just added some more water, and trying to just basically finish up the rest of the ink that's on my craft mat. Now I'm taking the heat gun to dry the watercolor paper, so I'm going to do the front, and then it starts to bow, so then I just flip it over and heat the back side so it kind of flattens it out. And so that is the finished product. Now I'm taking the watercolored images that I did previously, and I'm fussy cutting them out so that I can put them on my card. And so those are the watercolor images. Now I'm taking my Sizzix Big Shot, and I'm going to run my circle die on some white cardstock, and then also I have a scallop circle die, and there's my watercolor paper cardstock that I made, and yeah, just ran it through and using the scallop die, and that's what it looks like. Here I'm taking the Beautiful You sentiment, and I'm just trimming it out to like a little fishtail banner, so that I can put it on my card. Really simple. I'm just eyeballing the sentiment, and then now I have my non-stick craft sheet. I'm using the ink Sweet 16, and I'm getting the card base. The card base is Recollections cardstock, and it's the 110 pound. And so usually I just use that particular weight as a card base because it's nice and thick and really sturdy. So yeah, I'm just getting my distress tool, and I'm going around the edges, around the front of the card, so that when I put the flower paper on top of it, the purple peeks out. Now I'm ready to assemble the card, and I'm putting adhesive on the back, and then I'm getting the card base, and as I'm placing the flower paper on top of the card base, I realized that I did not cut it down to size, and I still have the adhesive on the back, so I just flip it over and then I cut it down to size. Basically the A2 size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I cut the pattern paper to 4 by 5 1/4. Then I just adhere the white circle to the scallop circle with regular adhesive. I add the sentiment, and then I start layering the watercolor flowers on top of each other. I use the pink one on the bottom, the 2 leaves in the middle, and then the mint colored flower on top. And then I adhere that whole piece there with some foam adhesive tape so that it pops out, and that is basically the base of the card. So I don't know if I said this, but this is going to be a baby shower card for my sister, so now I'm going to color a unicorn image. So after putting the stickles on the unicorn, I am taking my scissors and fussy cutting the image to place it on my card. I place it on my card with foam adhesive squares so that it can kind of pop up and give the unicorn some dimension to the card. So that is my card for you guys today. Thank you so much for staying with me throughout this whole video, and please visit the next video in this YouTube hop. The link will be in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching again, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Good luck.